Good afternoon. Today is Friday, August 11th. I just took my feisty beast to have her entire body x-rayed. Actually, they did a kitty equivalent of a CAT scan, and they wanted to check to see if her cancer had spread, and they wanted to see her lungs more specifically. And there is no sign of spreading anywhere, which is great. That's really, really good news. Her cancer is still considered advanced just because it did go into a lymph node, and from there it does have a higher chance of metastasizing, of spreading. But as of now, that has not happened at all. And so, very relieved. That's a good thing. That means her prognosis is a little bit better than we might have anticipated. So it's still a day-by-day thing, monitoring and all that good stuff, but we're pretty pleased with that. So yay. Now I'm waiting in line for a coffee because I need a little something. I did go to work today too for just 2.5 hours. I mainly did a bunch of cleaning stuff up because I left an absolute disaster in my room yesterday. I'm trying not to let that build up all at once. So went to work, drove an hour and 5 minutes to the vet's office in this town because they can't do x-rays or CAT scans in the office where I live, but they can in the next town over, and it takes an hour, just over an hour to get there. So that's been my day: work, driving, vet, coffee, driving home. And I think that's enough for today. I thought maybe I would do some trail stuff today, but I think I'm going to save that for tomorrow. It's Saturday, and I'm hoping if I get up early enough, I might be able to have it to myself. That is the update for today, Friday, and it's been a pretty good day. So, all right, I will see everybody soon. Good afternoon. Today is Saturday, August 12th. Same car, different day. I swear, I've just been in the car all week. It's been a theme, and it will continue through tomorrow because new development. My son is leaving for Marine Corps basic training a week early. He was supposed to leave on the 21st, and he's now leaving the 14th. And we found out last night, the evening of August 11th. We were told this could potentially happen because it does sometimes, where you leave earlier than anticipated, but the date that we were told initially seemed pretty firm, and so we were kind of just counting on that, and then surprise. So he's having a meeting with his recruiter today, and then tomorrow we go to Seattle so he can get ready to fly to San Diego. His grandpa and grandma are going as well, so we're all taking him over. Not prepared. Yes, prepared, but no at the same time. So this marks the beginning of a major life transition for myself and my kid. And basic training in the Marines is 13 weeks. I cannot speak to him at all while he is there unless there is an emergency that requires communication. But we can write letters, and he will call me when he gets there, and he will read a scripted message letting me know he is there safely, but I cannot speak to him. He will just hang up once he's done reading whatever is scripted for him. So, yeah, I'll be back in the car tomorrow, taking him to Seattle. Yeah, I'm excited for him. He seems a little bit shaken, I think, just because he was counting on having an extra week, but I think the meeting with his recruiter today, I think, will really help, because he'll get more information, and I think it'll help him feel a bit more settled as far as things to expect and all that jazz. He has some people he wants to go say goodbye to, but I don't know if the meeting with the recruiter is 2.5 hours away from home. So he got up at 4:30 this morning so he could be in the first meeting place by 7 o'clock. And then, yeah, they had to go to another town, which is about an hour and 15 minutes away from the middle town. So it's an ordeal. It's a thing as far as how long it takes. So I'm just waiting to hear from him so we can figure out what we're gonna do with the rest of today. So I don't know how much I'll film over the next few days. A lot of next couple days is probably going to be pretty private, just because it's a big deal, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I'll end this part here for now. Okay, I will talk with you soon. Today is Sunday, August 13th, and I just dropped my kid off to get ready to go to basic training for the Marines. I will not see him for 3 months. It's gonna be the longest 3 months of my life. His grandparents came and spent time, and it was a good day. And now I have a very long drive home, so I'm gonna get going on that while it's 8:03 p.m. I'll be home probably about midnight, maybe a little bit earlier. So that's that for today. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Talk to everybody later. Good afternoon. Today is Monday, August 14th. It is currently 98 degrees where I live. And for where I live, that is very hot. I've just spent most of today being a blob on the couch or the floor. I've kind of been alternating between the two. I did do some things this morning. Cleaned a little bit while it was still a little bit cooler, and made some cold brew and made some brine for a chicken and some stuff like that. Nothing too exciting. And then it got really warm really quickly, and then I ceased most all activity and became a blob. I did talk to my son earlier. He's at the airport in Seattle. His flight to San Diego is at 7 p.m. It's 5:30-ish almost right now, so he's waiting to board. So he's calling everybody one last time before he has to give up his phone. He might be able to call once he gets to San Diego, but we're not sure yet. So he's getting them in while he can. So that was nice to talk to him and text him today. So that was good. Other than that, nothing much has happened today. I did not go to work. No, it did not happen today. I probably will go tomorrow. It's supposed to get back down into the 80s, 80-ish Fahrenheit, so significantly cooler than today. I think that's all I've got for today. The last couple of days have been hectic and hot and just bleh. So yeah, after today, things should mellow out a little bit, and I'm hoping I can go walk tomorrow in the evening after it cools down. So we'll see how that goes. So in the meantime, I will see you soon. Right now you're sitting on a vase of lavender in a bit of a precarious position, so hopefully you don't fall over. Good afternoon. It is Tuesday, August 15th. It is currently 93 degrees, and I have been packing bags in case my neighborhood needs to evacuate due to a brush fire that is nearby. So I've been grabbing stuff from my son's room, just sentimental things, some of his clothes, because if anything does happen, when he returns from basic training, I would like him to come home to something. So I've been gathering all that up and just getting my emergency stuff and my cat stuff ready and our lockbox with all of our papers and things in it and just things like that, just in case. Our police department showed up in our neighborhood just to give us just the awareness notice. You know, it's like, you know, you don't have to leave now, but just be aware that it's a possibility. So, yeah, I'm just working on that and trying not to panic. My kid always keeps a go bag, a duffel bag, and in his room just in case. And he usually keeps it in his truck, but he won't be driving his truck for a while, so he brought his bag in the house, and his bag actually had quite a bit of stuff still in it, so I just grabbed that and built onto that, and yeah, just grabbed some clothes for me and some special notebook things, and just, you know, we have the luxury of having notice. You know, a lot of people don't get that luxury, so I'm taking advantage of that just in case that time comes. So that's what I'm working on right now. I did not go to work again today. It's too hot, and I'm waiting for the weather to cool down. I realize 93 degrees Fahrenheit might not sound very hot to some, but you have to understand where I live in Western Washington, and that's hot for us, and I don't do well in heat, and our humidity is usually quite high. It's actually been lower the past couple of days, like into the like 50% range. Our typical is usually about 75. In the wet season, it's 90 to 100% on a daily basis because of the rain. But yeah, 93 is it's not dry heat. We don't have dry heat here. Dry heat I do well in. I can do dry heat pretty seamlessly, but not where I live here. It's warm, so I'm just working on keeping myself hydrated and packing potential evacuation bags. So I'm going to get back to doing that, and I will keep everybody posted on how that goes. I did talk to my son again early this morning. He arrived in San Diego for basic training, and they get one. He called me when he landed. He was able to do that, and then when they get to their station, they make just an arrival call to families where they tell you they've arrived and just some basic information, and they tell you goodbye, and they hang up and you don't get to speak to them. So I got that call about 1 in the morning. I'm mostly just tired, I think, and the heat's making it worse. But tomorrow it's supposed to get back down into the 80s, which is still too hot for me, but I will take that over what we have now. I mean, like, without hesitation. So anyway, I'm gonna get back to packing up. I was actually getting ready to film a video, ironically, like kind of a sit down video, but that's going to have to wait until I hear more about what's going on. If there's one thing I could ask, it's to keep firefighters and first responders in thoughts, you know, send them positive thoughts, and because they're collectively there's a lot with that going on right now, and it's the depths of summer, and it's hot, and these people risk their lives every day, and they work really hard. So just something to think about. Keep them in your thoughts. So, okay, now I'm gonna go. I will talk with you soon. Good morning. Today is Wednesday, August 16th. It is significantly cooler today, and I feel so much better. I feel the best that I've felt all week, actually, right now. It's only supposed to get up into the 80s, 80 degrees Fahrenheit range, which is still a bit warm for me, but I will take it over nearly 100. That was just entirely too much. Right now I'm working on some homemade cold brew. My son had some coffee beans left in his bag, and he reminded me before he left that I should probably use those so they don't get stale. And I thought that was a great idea and decided to try some cold brew with them, and it actually is pretty darn good. So I'm just going to make a batch pretty much every day until that bag is gone, and then I'll go back to using mine. Right now it's about 9:15 or so in the morning, and I'm going to go into work at about 10:30. I have not been to work at all this week because of fatigue and the heat and just the emotional coping of saying goodbye to my kid for 3 months. I just needed a couple of days, and so I took them. So I will go in today. I'm feeling up for it this morning. So I will end this chunk here and report back sometime soon. You're perched on the lavender again. It's a bit precarious, but I think we'll get through. My intention for dinner tonight was to roast a chicken, a whole chicken, spatch it and lay it out on a sheet pan with vegetables and just have a nice roast dinner. But it's entirely too hot for that nonsense, and so I'm gonna wait to do chicken until tomorrow. So tonight I'm just settling for a standby, just some kind of sandwich on an English muffin, toasted English muffin. Perfect for an evening that's really hot. It's light and warm, but not hot, and it's just gonna hit the spot. I showed you the spike seasoning. My favorite seasoning to put on this is the everything bagel seasoning. It's so good, but I'm out and I haven't been able to find it anywhere recently, so I'm still on the hunt for that. But spike seasoning works. It's very savory and it works well in a pinch, and it's a nice contrast to the sweetness of the jam, so it works good. I also have my lemon cocoa. That is one of my favorite beverages of all time, and I can only find it in one store within an 85-mile radius of where I live. And so whenever I'm in that town, I stop at the store that carries it and I buy them out. And sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's like 10, but I always buy them out. And I have 2 colleagues that really look out for me, and they stop there, and if they have any, they buy them out and they bring them home for me. So it's great. But it's just it's a drink inspired by like street food in Rome, and it's essentially lemon and coconut. So lemon juice and coconut cream and a bit of sugar, and it's just light and summery and delightful, and I like it all year round, but I especially like it when it's hot. So I've got my turkey English muffin and my lemon cocoa for dinner, and I'm happy about that. I'll wrap this up by going over my spending for early month August. Early month for me is the 1st through the 10th. Mid month is the 11th through the 20th, and then late month is the 21st to the end of the month, whenever that may happen to fall on the calendar. Things like this, I conceptualize my month better in thirds versus weeks, just because it's easier for me to calculate, and it contains all of the month within a single time period. There's no overlapping into the next month, and so I just divide the month into thirds, and it works really well for kind of mapping stuff like this out. As I mentioned at the beginning of the month, my intention was to do a low buy kind of across the board for all of my variable expenses. So things that aren't, fixed bills that kind of occur regularly every month, or at least semi-regularly. So things just like groceries, gas, dining out, personal spending, personal care, things like that. And in early month August, I ended up spending in 6 categories. I spent in grocery, I spent in household supplies, I spent in gas, I spent in personal spending for my son, I spent in laundry. We have shared laundry facility where I live, so it's quarter operated, and dining out. So those 6 categories I ended up spending money in. And I actually did better than I thought. Mid-month is going to be a bit higher than I anticipated, because I had a kid and a cat that needed to go places and get things and have things done. And so mid-month spending is going to be a bit higher. But I think late month spending is going to be overly quite low, because my son has left. As of now, I'm only buying groceries for myself, and I'm really, really stocked at home. So I don't anticipate spending a lot of money this month. So I think in the end, it's going to even out. So for groceries, for early month, 1st through the 10th of August, I spent $137.59. All these amounts are in US dollars. So $137.59 for groceries. Household supplies, I spent $2.89. I needed paper towels. Gas, I got gas once on the 5th, and I spent $27.95. And that filled up my tank. I have a car, it's a pure gas motor, but it gets really, really good gas mileage. And so $27.95 on one fill up, even with these gas prices, is still quite high. But that lasted me for quite a while. Personal spending for my son, $43.32. He picked up a couple of things, and there was something he wanted to do before he left. So I spent that money and paid for that. Laundry, $7.25. It's just wash dry. It's coin machine operated. So $7.25 on laundry. Dining out, $38.26. So my spending total for early month August for variable expenses was $257.26, which is basically pretty much on track for where I was hoping I would be at this time. I was kind of hoping to keep it all at $600 or less for the entire month. So this is a bit over kind of that average where I might be at this time. But like I said, I think late month is going to be relatively lower, just because of the nature of how things are in my household at the moment. Anyway. So I'm really happy with that. One category that was not spent on at all was personal spending for me. I did not spend anything on myself that I would consider personal spending. Not even personal care or anything like that. Nothing for me this go around. And as of now, in mid-month August on the 16th, there's nothing for so far during this time either. So late month there might be. I'm not entirely sure yet, but we'll see when that time comes. So yeah, overall pretty happy with where I'm at. I'm gonna finish my food and just wind down for the evening and look forward to the cooler weather that is supposedly coming. We're gonna go back down into the 70s, and that will be a relief. Also working out on getting this footage compiled and uploaded, and then I will start on the next set of days. So until my next vlog, take care and be well.